So in the previous lectures, we have seen why migration and how do you make decisions uh, to identify the better migration approach and strategy for your environments. So let us see what are the different official migration strategies uh, IBM officially provides with. So there are three major strategies. One is in-place migration, side-by-side migration, and remote migration. So in-place migration, it is actually an upgrade on the same machine, and side-by-side migration, it is parallelly you will install and you will copy the configuration from the older version and you will upgrade. So this is called side-by-side migration. So here you will overwrite the older WAS 8.x with WAS 9.0 installation. So you will overwrite. So how do you overwrite and how do you uh, you know migrate everything? Like there are some profiles along with the applications and some other configurations. Everything you need to migrate from 8.5 before you overwrite with 9. So once you install WAS 9 in the same path of 8.x version, then you will have to restore all the configurations from 8.x to 9. So this is in place. Number two, side by side, parallel install. So you will use two different paths, like WAS app server 8.x. This is the older version, and you will install a new version like WAS app server 9. So you will have two different installations of two different versions. So here you will parallelly install and you will copy everything from WAS 8.5 and you will upgrade it in the WAS 9. So in these two, uh, the copying of configuration is common, but here you are overwriting the older version path and here you're installing a different path. So this is side-by-side migration. So once you are done with the 9 version and everything tested and the environment is up and running with no issues, then you can uninstall or remove the older version. And the third one is remote migration. So when you can go for remote migration, if the host is getting migrated, meaning new VMs, right, or cloud. So the host itself is getting changed, the operating system with a new host name or a new uh, IP address or something. And the infrastructure changes, refreshing, upgrading the hardware. So in those cases, you can go with remote migration. So in this case as well, you will install the WAS 9 version on the remote host and you will copy the configuration using the migration tools and you will upgrade the newly installed version, right? So each and every method has a different uh, way to implement based on your requirement. So if you remember, if you see in the last lecture, we have seen all these three in different based on the requirement, and there were few questions. So if it is operating system, is if the operating system is getting upgraded, or if the operating system remains same, you will go for side by side, and you can also go with side by side. And if there is no downtime, we will go with blue-green migration. So we will discuss those things. So let us start with in-place migration. So you will install WAS 9 on the same machine where 8.5 exists. So you will do the prerequisites, stop the servers and run migration tools to upgrade profiles directly. So what are the pros and cons? It is a fastest method, minimal infrastructure requirement, but what are the cons? Risky for production, no easy rollback. So why? Because you are already overwriting the older path with the new version. So cannot run 8.5 and 9 in parallel. So it requires a downtime. So when to use? For deployments or test environments. Small standalone servers with low rollback risk. So this is a pros and cons and when to use. Side by side migration. So here you install WAS 9 alongside WAS 8 on the same host, but in separate directories. Then you will migrate the profiles using backup and restore, meaning you will take the necessary backups and you will restore them on the new installation. So here, these all steps will be used like a WAS pre-upgrade and post-upgrade. And you will also validate or reconfigure SDKs and yes, what kind of backups to be taken and what are the prerequisites we will understand in the implementation part. And what are the pros? Safe rollback. Even if the migration didn't work as expected and there were some warnings or exceptions, then there is no issue with the WAS 8.5 installation because it is untouched. You are simply taking the uh, migration backup with this command. So it is not touched, right? So that is a advantage. And both versions can coexist temporarily and later you can disassemble this 8.5, uninstall it once your new version is up and running. Controlled cutover with reduced risk. So with this method, the cutover is will be in your control and there is very minimal risk because 8.5 older version is untouched. And cons requires extra disk space that is very common and still some downtime is required. Why? When you switch uh, for the newer version, at that time you need to upgrade your load balancers or IHs, generate the plugins for the new uh, version, and all those things. So when to use most production migrations, when rollback must be guaranteed, and when parallel testing before cutover is needed.